moving that jab up and down. And then when you go downstairs, like that downstairs, come up underneath that left foot. It's gonna be open because it's gonna fall down into it. Anytime you jab down low, just keep trying to come over the top.
Or like you could say, hey, you know what? I can't beat that Mayweather style. I was too young, but look, I did it now against Crawford.
I forget Mayweather. It's a long time ago. This is different for me, you know? I lost that day and that's it. I learned a lot.
Who do you like in Canelo versus Crawford? Well, I'm a giant Crawford fan because I think he's the best switch hitter since Marvin Hagler. I also think Canelo is slowing down, and Canelo is more of a one-punch fighter now than the combination fighter he was.
Canelo Álvarez has reacted fiercely after hearing that Terence Crawford sparred with Floyd Mayweather during training. He's taken this as a personal attack, accusing Crawford of disrespecting him repeatedly. Canelo feels targeted, believing Crawford is trying to make him appear weak or irrelevant, and warns that their upcoming fight will go beyond mere business. It's now about pride and personal stakes.
Tell me a little bit about that. Did things get a little bit personal now?
Yeah, a little bit more personal because, you know, I did respect him. I don't respect him anymore because he say, I'm not gonna do what they want me to do and this and that. And then he tried to, maybe Turkey Lashid told him, hey, you need to do something because you seem so nervous in Riyadh. So and he tried to like walk me back, and that's why I pushed him. And, you know, like I say, don't fuck with me.
Terence Crawford has openly questioned the strength of Canelo's resume. From Crawford's perspective, many of the so-called elite names Canelo faced were already past their prime. Fighters like Shane Mosley, Miguel Cotto, and Sergey Kovalev, in Crawford's view, were declining when Canelo fought them. Crawford also points out Floyd Mayweather, the only active legend Canelo faced, who clearly outclassed him. To Crawford, these facts diminish the argument that Canelo's career is superior, especially as he feels Canelo dismisses Crawford's accomplishments to undermine him.
Things about Canelo's resume, but I won't, you know. I wanna, you know what I mean, pay homage to the fighters that he fought. And if he don't wanna pay homage to the fighters I fought, if he thinks they nobodies, then come fight time, then I wonder what they're gonna say after I beat him.
Promoter Eddie Hearn acknowledges Canelo's natural size advantage but remains optimistic about Crawford's chances. He emphasizes Crawford's confidence and focus, which make him a dangerous opponent regardless of size. Hearn believes that Crawford's ability to control pace, distance, and rhythm could neutralize Canelo's physical edge, making the fight more competitive than many expect.
Not for him, like not against him, sorry, for him. Like he so I think he has no doubt that he beat him. I really like Terence. I think he's a great fight. I have to say, like, tell me his major significant win.
Well, obviously Errol.
Yeah,
right.
Come on.
Like, no, but he beat a guy who was in the top 5 pound for pound. And he destroyed him. It's really never happened.
No, I agree.
History.
I agree. I mean, look, he was coming off, you know, some eye problems. But
nobody was saying that when he was beating.
But we're giving that credit.
And Ugas.
Tell me more.
I'm just saying.
I don't know.
That's a big win. Now,
keep going.
Your guy from the UK who stopped him, what, in the 4th round, was it?
Kell Brook. Yeah, go on, keep.
Okay, he stopped somebody that nobody's ever really can hurt.
Well,
Sean Porter.
I mean, yeah, but that was 8 years before, and Errol Spence that one.
Okay. What do you mean?
Yeah, when he beat Sean Porter.
No, that was 2023.
Oh.
Terence Crawford beat Sean Porter.
Well, no, I'm talking about Kell Brook against Sean Porter.
No, I was talking about Bud. I'm not talking about that. But he stopped him. Nobody's ever able to really hurt Sean.
By the way, I'm not disagreeing with you.
That was a great win. And he didn't have a lot of names at 140, but Postal and all those guys, those are good fighters. They weren't big names. Just like, damn, he doesn't have a whole lot of great names. It's like,
no, he beat Estrada.
In a way.
Yeah, he has a couple.
In a way, yeah, he does have some great fights. In a way.
By the way, he's one of my favorite fighters.
John Ryder, who shared the ring with Canelo, offers insight into the challenge of facing the Mexican champion. He admits Canelo's physical presence is overwhelming and that the weight difference Crawford would need to overcome isn't easy. Still, Ryder believes Crawford's adaptability and skill set give him a real shot. His technical brilliance might just offset the physical disparity.
When you go up 2 divisions, a lot of people in his camp believe that he's even going to stop him. But yeah, what's your thoughts?
If there's any man that could do it, it would be Terence Crawford, but I just think the sheer size of Canelo is going to be too much on the line.
So do you think size will be too much? I mean, you were in there with Canelo. You landed good shots and he took them, right?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Terence Crawford is an exceptional talent, but I think the size would be the factor on the night and it'd just be too big, too strong.
Terence Crawford has been carefully formulating his game plan. He considers two main strategies: first, to pressure Canelo, disrupt his rhythm, and overwhelm him with volume; second, to adopt a more calculated approach, inspired by Floyd Mayweather's slick defense, counters, and footwork. Crawford recognizes he doesn't have Mayweather's size but trusts his speed and timing. He sees himself as a versatile hybrid, ready to adapt and combine aggression with tactical brilliance to solve the puzzle that is Canelo.
Two things that you can do with somebody bigger and stronger. You know, you can either try to push them back, you know, because 9 times out of 10, strong fighter not used to going back, you know, so kind of fucks them up, you know. Yeah. Or you can just box them because some of them just slower than others because they got flat foot, flat feet, and they just looking to load up on certain shots.
Now, Crawford's definitely right here. There's two ways to beat a pressure fighter like Canelo. Either you put the pressure back on him, which is where guys like Triple G and Bivol had success, or you use your skills and footwork on the outside, which is how Floyd Mayweather won. Now, Crawford, he can't use the pressure approach. He's not as physically dominant as guys like Golovkin or Bivol. You know, Bud is a welterweight or junior middleweight jumping up. He doesn't have the size to push Canelo back. Now, the outside boxing approach, that is definitely Crawford's best chance against Canelo. You know, he is right. Canelo does struggle to cut off the ring at times. We saw that in the Skull fight. And he does load up on single shots now. But at the same time, Crawford is not the same pure boxer that Floyd Mayweather was. You know, Mayweather rarely got hit in that shell. His form of countering, you know, a full counter, for example, was, I'm not going to get touched, and then I'll make you pay. Whereas Crawford's style of counterpunching is different. Bud will take one to throw 2 or 3 back. He can't do that against Canelo because of the size and power difference. If Bud takes a clean right hand to throw back an uppercut or a hook, he's either going to get dropped or he's going to end up on his bike like Jermell Charlo. So while I do agree, Crawford does have a superior skill set in this fight, but because he doesn't have the size to push Canelo back, or even to someone like Mayweather stays perfect for 12 rounds on the outside, I do think Canelo's size and power will make a difference in this fight. And that's why I like Canelo to win.
Joe Rogan's perspective echoes a growing sentiment in the boxing world. He notes that while Canelo remains elite, signs of decline in speed and stamina are evident. Meanwhile, Crawford continues to sharpen his craft and dominate across divisions. Rogan believes the timing favors Crawford, who is arguably at his peak, and he views their matchup as more competitive than it might seem on paper.
Who do you like in Canelo versus Crawford?
Well, I'm a giant Crawford fan because I think he's the best switch hitter since Marvin Hagler. I also think Canelo slowing down, and Canelo is more of a one-punch fighter now than the combination fighter he was when he was younger.
Do you think Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Álvarez?
Yeah, I think he can win.
Okay.
I don't know if he's going to win, but I think he can win. He's going to have to box a brilliant fight.
If Ray Leonard could beat Marvelous Marvin Hagler, then Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Álvarez. Why do you say that? Same equation. Get in, get out. Get in, get out.
Yeah.
Over and over and over. He's got to figure the angles and the approaches that will allow him to step in, land to the body, or occasionally upstairs.
Legendary commentator Jim Lampley frames the fight as a clash of two warriors driven by pride and legacy. Despite the size difference, Lampley emphasizes that both fighters are defined by more than physical traits. Their hunger to be the best and their refusal to back down make this a compelling contest.
Crawford is going to fight Canelo, because even if I have some doubts and misgivings about the size matchup, it is two action fighters who like to fight progressively, times, not all the time, going against each other, and we'll see who can open the other person's tuna can, so to speak.
Max Kellerman confidently declares Crawford as the current pound-for-pound king. While respecting Canelo's past achievements, Kellerman believes Canelo's best days are behind him. Crawford's recent flawless performances across weight classes have cemented his dominance, while Canelo has looked more vulnerable against fighters like Dimitri Bivol and John Ryder.
Apologies to the monster and music, Buck Crawford and Marco for that number. Canelo Álvarez, universally recognized that way. Well, these two guys, the last two guys now were pound weight.
Teddy Atlas offers a nuanced take, praising Canelo as a complete, well-trained fighter. However, his tone shifts when speaking of Crawford, calling him special, a term reserved for fighters with extraordinary instincts and ring intelligence. Atlas highlights Crawford's ability to make mid-fight adjustments, stay calm under pressure, and finish ruthlessly, suggesting Crawford might be in a rare class of talent.
Maybe he's a little overrated.
Terence Crawford versus Canelo Álvarez at 168 pounds.
Canelo's really good, really good. But I think Crawford is special. I know he hasn't fought the resume everyone wants, but you have that or you don't have that ingredient. I think he has it. Canelo's really good. He's tremendous. But could he be a tiny bit overrated? The greatness is within Crawford. It's in his desire, it's in his mind, it's in his makeup, where he came from. I know he's moving up in weight class, can he carry it? But those intangibles, I believe that he...
Daniel Jacobs, who's fought both men, offers valuable insight. He notes that Crawford's speed is explosive and unpredictable, especially with his ability to switch stances and throw from odd angles. Jacobs leans toward Crawford as the favorite, citing his timing, sharpness, and ring IQ as key advantages over Canelo.
Sparring, but I had at least over 15 years of knowing him, amateur, professional. I've seen where he started. I've seen how he's gotten better over time, but I also just know what resides in him. He's a dog, he's a beast, and he's out to prove something too. So I'm excited about this fight. Canelo obviously is self-explanatory. There's really no need to go down the rabbit hole when it comes to him. What I do see this being as a 50-50 fight, but if I was a betting man, I would bet on Crawford. But also too, you can't count Canelo out. I mean, would go in, I'm assuming, as the favorite, which is rightfully so.
A lot of people say that version that you fought was probably the best, Canelo Álvarez. And since then, obviously, naturally, he's slightly declined. Do you see this decline that people talk about?
Well, I can see in increments because Canelo, which I've always said is an amazing legendary fighter, but he fights in spurts. So sometimes it takes for the opponent to actually initialize him giving the best. When he was faced with me, the opposition that I had and what I was giving him, it was just a lot. Whether it was boxing, whether it was coming forward, but most importantly, it was the punches and bunches. And so he was forced to either stand there, wait for the right time, or be combative and go back at it. So I think that's what Crawford may have to do. Push the pressure, make Canelo fight, or maybe just play it safe, win on points.
Crawford's longtime trainer, Brian Bomac McIntyre, exudes confidence. He believes that with each passing day of preparation, Crawford becomes better, not just physically but mentally and emotionally. McIntyre emphasizes that their training has been meticulously tailored to exploit Canelo's weaknesses, from nutrition and conditioning to strategic study.
A different approach in terms of crafting and planning going into camp.
No, not really. We know the type of fighter Canelo is. So, as a fighter, you mentally prepare for things like that. And then as a trainer, just making sure he's sharp. His mental game is sharp, physical game is sharp. Strength-wise, nutrition is everything. Got to, like I said, hitting on all cylinders. So by the time you step in that ring, it's easy picking.
Jiren Ennis, a rising star in the sport, takes a cautious stance. While respecting Crawford's skill, he recognizes the challenge posed by Canelo's power. Ennis stresses that if Crawford can't make Canelo respect his punches, the fight could turn in Canelo's favor. He reminds us that skill alone isn't enough, damage needs to be inflicted, and that might be tougher for a naturally smaller fighter.
I think you gotta lean more towards Canelo, because like I said before, he's been putting big guys out and down. Canelo not even really a 68 pounder. He probably really should be at 60, maybe. He been hurting these guys. I think he be dropping these guys and things like that. So them guys be way bigger than him come fight night. I know that for sure. He be probably close to 200 pounds. He dropping those guys like that. So I don't know. It's gonna be a great fight. The fans want to see it, so so be it. I think Crawford should take a warm-up fight. At like 60, or like at least at 60, just to get his body, to fill into somebody a little bit bigger, and things like that. I know when you go up in weight, you gotta, develop that power, and not develop the power, but like that muscle on and be heavier and things like that. So he might not want to take a fight because he's trying to build up right now, but I think he should, just to stay sharp, and that way he don't have like a long layoff.
Alexander Usyk, renowned for challenging expectations regarding weight classes himself, considers this matchup fair. He recognizes the challenge for Crawford but affirms his belief that Crawford is the best pound-for-pound boxer today. Roy Jones Jr. emphasizes that the outcome hinges largely on Crawford's mindset. If Crawford enters with precision and a solid game plan, Roy believes he can outmaneuver Canelo. However, he warns that even a slight lapse could allow Canelo's experience and power to turn the tide. Ultimately, it all depends on execution under pressure.
Here for Pro Boxing fans, joined by, does he need any introduction, Hall of Fame legend Roy Jones Jr. here in the UK. There's a few questions about the US guys. Obviously, Tank and Lamont Roach, we saw the first fight. Lamont Roach shot the world. What do you think happens in a rematch if they fight?
I think he shocked the world again. But the only thing different this time is Tank will come with a different attitude, different personality, different motivation. And I think Roach will do good again, but I think Tank will be more dominant this time.
And obviously we know if Canelo wins against William Skull, he will fight Terence Crawford in September. Who would you favour in that fight?
It's a hard one to call. And I'm going to tell you why it's hard to call. It's a hard call because it'll all be predicated upon how Canelo approaches the fight. Canelo approaches the fight like he's the man and he can box and outbox Terence Crawford, he'll get beat. If he comes out and shows that he really wants to go out and prove whether he's still the best, he might win. So it all depends on which Canelo comes to the dance.
Brian Norman highlights the narrative that surrounds this fight. He suggests that if Canelo defeats Crawford, critics may not fully credit him due to the size difference. Conversely, if Crawford wins, it would be a historic achievement. This isn't just about belts, it's about legacy. The victory could define the careers of both fighters, cementing their status as the greatest of their era. The stakes go beyond the ring, they're about lasting greatness.
With Canelo's experience over time, right? Even though Terence is the older fighter, he has, I think, 20 less fights than Canelo does, or maybe more. I think more than 20. And also, competition level. This will be the most skilled, most experienced, biggest, strongest fighter that Terence Crawford's ever faced, without a question.
I love you both, but you still did not answer the question. How do you see this fight ending?
I told you.
Don't say with your hands. I'm knockout. I'm not about the game.
Listen, Jack's trying to get that one-liner. He's trying to get that go-viral moment from Bud, but he's just not that guy, right? And I think what he's about to say is, he's not going to go in there and be like, I'm going to knock him out, I'm going to do it in the first round. And plus, I wouldn't want to hear that, right? As much as that sounds nice as a soundbite, I wouldn't want to hear that because I don't think he believes that. And I don't believe that. I want to hear what Bud actually believes, which is, that he'll win, but not like this mystic Mac, let me predict the round, here's why, unless he truly believes that, and I don't think Bud does. I think he believes he'll get it done by any means necessary, whether that's, let's say, he was able to knock Canelo out or he gets it done by decision, doesn't really matter because a fight is a fight at the end of the day, and all he needs to do is win.
Always in my mind doesn't exceed loss. I train, I put my best, I dedicate myself to this sport, and I'm just thinking about winning.
Many still view Canelo through the lens of his dominant prime, but the sport has evolved, and so has he. As Crawford uncovers vulnerabilities in Canelo's resume, fans are beginning to question the true significance of his past wins. This fight has the potential to shift public perception forever, reshaping how we view Canelo's legacy.
So you heard about what Canelo said about Terence Crawford's resume already and how he has no elite fighters on his resume. And say what you want about that, agree to disagree or whatever. What do you guys think of Crawford saying this about Canelo? Canelo fought great champions, but most were past their prime. But when they weren't, you saw what happened. Lara, Mayweather, and Bivol. Obviously, Mayweather was past his prime already, I'd say. But he's right. I rewatched the Lara fight, and, that Cuban style is just tricky to deal with. And, a lot of people would say that Lara won that fight. And then Bivol, it was I mean, I don't need to convince you about that. That fight was a clear-cut victory for Bivol, and it just showed that Canelo isn't this unbeatable person. You know, with the right set of skills, you can beat him. I don't know. What do you guys think? Has Terence Crawford fought any elite boxers? You could say, you know, Errol Spence, but then, you know, after that whole horrible accident that he, so who knows, right?
That's all for today's video. Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for more updates, and until next time.